Everybody, I'm Lance. Thanks for tuning in. So what's on your mind right now? What have you been thinking? What have your thought patterns been up until this moment? What has your thought patterns been the majority of the day? Our thoughts become things. We are creators, and our thoughts do become things. That's why it's incredibly powerful that we learn to be more aware of our thoughts and to control what we're choosing to think on. It's easy to get caught in a bad thought pattern, and before you know it, they can go on for hours, days, and it wrecks our energy. And they can manifest with physical symptoms. The body responds when it puts us in that fight or flight mode. We get shortness of breath, our breathing shallows, our pulse goes up. These are all things from thought. And you know that majority of the things that we think about never happen. Most of our problems in life, most of our problems are just thoughts about things that are problems. Most of them aren't happening right now. And we have to learn to get ahead of that. We have to learn to control our thoughts. We get to choose them. You get to choose what you think in any given moment. You're gonna have other outside stimuli. You're gonna have people saying things to you, whatever, but you have to learn to choose that, to control your thoughts and choose to think on things that you want. Think about the power of intention. Have you ever thought of a friend, just thought of them, and immediately they'll call you or text you? That's manifestation. That's creating. It happens. It's happened a lot. I'm gonna share a story about manifestation and why this thinking's so powerful from my childhood. But another thing too is every physical thing, everything in existence once was a thought. We have to realize that we truly are creators, and that what we think about will basically, we're painting our future. And that's why it's so critical. If you want your story to have a different ending, you have to change the story that you're telling yourself right now. And part of that is in your thinking. And that's one thing that no one else can do. No one else can help you with your thoughts. Only you can. But we're creating that. I've been listening to Neville Goddard, and I highly recommend him. He had a lot of books. I think it was the early 1900s or something. It's timeless though, and just the power of our mind and the power of intention. And I want to share a story about this. When I was a kid, I remember I was probably 10 or 11, and me and a friend were playing in the backyard. My mom was out running errands. She had no prior knowledge of what I was doing, and just outside playing. Well, me and my friend decided we were going to catch a rabbit. I was dead set. I'm going to catch a rabbit, man. We had a box with a string tied to a stick, propped up with the carrots, just off a cartoon or something. But I was so in that moment. I put so much thought into it, and I just knew I was going to get a rabbit. Do you know what my mom came home from the store with? A free rabbit. We were outside set up, but I'd been giving my thought energy to having a rabbit as a pet. Come to find out, they're kind of crappy pets because they shit everywhere and scratch you. We gave it away, but the point is, our thoughts do become things, and that's a powerful story from my childhood that I kind of had forgotten about over time. But it's very critical, and you get to choose every moment of life what you're thinking on. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible, and it's not just the Bible, it's all the spiritual books that tell us to think on good things. So when you're having bad thoughts, how do you stop it? You think on something good immediately. You shift, you write gratitude, you put on music, you do something to change that thought. But you have to learn to stop it and nip it in the bud, because the more that you think on something bad and feel those worry and fearful emotions, the more that you're calling it into existence. Our thoughts are huge. And I'm going to read this Philippians 4, 8, and 9. Super powerful verses. I've referenced them before. But finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And then whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. So notice that first one. Think on whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable. It doesn't say think about what you're worried about. It doesn't say think about the worst case scenario. It doesn't say think about your mistakes, your problems, anything you can't control anymore. Think on good things. The more that we practice this, the more that we command this, the more that we learn to not only choose good thoughts, but to elevate our emotions to go along with those good thoughts, that's when manifestation comes into play. We're constantly creating. That's a fact. We create our future with our thoughts today and right now. Choose them wisely. Think of the future you want. Quit worrying about the how. Focus on what it is you want and surround yourself with the feeling, with the emotion of your wish fulfilled. That's manifestation. And that's what I think the Bible's trying to teach us in all the spiritual books. Focus on your thoughts. They are creating your future. Choose them wisely. Thanks, everybody, and have an awesome day and a happy now, because you can't be happy yesterday and you can't be happy tomorrow. Thanks.